Alright, Shang Tsung's Rain Kick. This move has a place on pretty much every variation, unless you're using ground sparks, then you're going to be using Shake to get the best zoning probably. So I'm going to show you everything I can about this move, everything that's good, as well as everything that's bad, so you will learn how to beat it as well by watching this video. Alright, so if we go to the move list here, we see we just have the normal move. We can delay it, we can delay it for a little while, we can cancel it, and we can amplify it. Every single part of this is good to have. Alright, so the move itself, this is what the move looks like. Fairly quick, 28 frame startup, and on block, it is relatively safe at -9. Then we have a delay, and out of the delay, we can just release the move like that. That was the max timing. Or, whenever you want in the move, just down, and you cancel it. You can do it right away, or you can do it with the delay. And then of course you have the amplify, but that is only on hit. So for the amplify, you can option select it. On block, mash and amplify, nothing comes out, doesn't change the properties of the move on block. We see on hit it amplifies after, so just a very good option to have there. Alright, so like I said earlier, it is safe at -9. You can see that in the lower left corner there. So it is a good way to end some of your strings. I'll show you the main strings you'll want to be using it with. So the main two that you'll probably want to use the absolute most, I guess 3, this one works too. So this one here, there's no gap. I'm gonna set it, I'll just show you first. So this string here, it's a good one to do it off of. You can't interrupt it there. This one here, and I'm just talking about the first hit, so just back 1 into that, it's good to do it off of. Forward 2 into that, and then also 2-1 into it. I don't think there's a gap there either. Or there is a gap, but I'll go more in depth. So those are going to be your main uses on block, those strings into it. You can, of course, do it off of something like that, but you'll just be more vulnerable. And as you will see in this video, this move is nowhere near foolproof. It is a very vulnerable move. I will show you that right now. Alright, so I have Raiden set to reversal down 1 on block, so as soon as possible, you're just going to mash down 1. I'll show you, I'll try and do it off my jab string. You're going to get beat out. It's a slow startup. But then if we do one of the strings that I showed earlier, I win in that situation. Now there is still a gap in these situations, but in most scenarios you're going to beat out their down 1 mashing. So that one wins. And then I guess I'll show this right now. I'm going to show the combos later. So on forward 2 with 7 frame down 1s, you can actually get a trade combo. And I'll go more into depth in the combos later, but that's a pretty good thing to have. Meterless 23%, you take like 2% chip. And then this one here also beats out down 1 mashing, but a lot of the time down 1 mashing will beat you out. Like here you lose to it. If you do more of that string, you lose to it. If you do more of this string, you lose to it. What's another string I have? Like here, it probably won't reach. Okay, it did, yeah. And then, yeah, you're going to get beat out on most things if they just decide to press, and they're ignorant. They don't have to know the matchup. They just go, I want to press, and they beat you out, unless you're doing a few specific options. Alright, so now I'm controlling Raiden, and I just have this recording to do forward 2 in a rain kick. We lose mashing. We saw that. But let me show you now. In between every single hit, there is a gap. And if you look at the frame data down there, it was -19. I don't even have to spend the up 2 to get that punish there. As you'll see. Oh, I'm in the different variation, but that was a punish there. There we go. No problemo. Being -19, every character is going to be able to get their stand heavy, which is usually their, max punish tool. So you are going to eat a full combo if you mess around with that too much and your opponent knows what they're doing. Alright, now moving on to the cancels. Off of those strings that, beat their mashing is probably where you're going to want to throw in the cancels, because they actually have to respect it. And you can get some decent frames off of that. Here, off the back 1, you can be around like -7 if you get it the fastest. Yeah, there we go. And off of forward 2, you can get around like -11, -12, -13. So yeah, like around the -12, -13, I think. There we go, -11, perfect. Off of 2-1, you get -8. So pretty decent frames there. And then throw on a grab, something like that. And I just want to show off, even though this move is a mid, it does have some whiffing issues. So he's just blocking, but he's going to stay crouching. If I do something like this, it'll hit. But if I push him in an awkward situation, in awkward spacing, like I do down 4 into it, it'll just go clean over his head. So you just do have to be wary of that. It's not great to do pokes into it. I mean, like there it hit, but it's just so inconsistent. You see it hit one time out of like 4 or 5 that I did it. And one thing I want to show, so I have Shang Tsung, I'm Raiden again. So one thing I want to show, I have Shang Tsung recording that. We know we can't beat that with our down 1 that's 7 frames. I lose, I'm mashing down 1 there. If I'm at the right spacing, I can make my down 3 shift my hurt box enough to duck underneath, and then I can take my turn back. Alright, now on to the juiciest part, the combos. You're gonna see some shit you've never seen anyone else do here right now. So, off your jab, you cannot connect this. Not in the corner, you know, like, even if you don't pick them, like, that is not a combo there. And even in the corner, you're not gonna get the combo. So, don't try and get it off your jab. But you can get it off your standing 2 string, which is 9 frames, 1 frame slower than your jab, and your 2 string is a very good string to use, so it's not a hindrance really at all. It has better range, and yeah, it has some good enders on block, and as we saw before, some nice synergy with the rain kick. So now I'll show you a few of the basic combos you can get. So that's pretty much your main one that you would go for. Regardless of variation, I use kind of a weird variation. I use this move, but I think everybody's going to have this move here. So that's a good move. It was like 27% for 1 bar, not bad at all. And this is as close as we're going to get to our jab. So that's like the starting point. Off your jab, you're going to get about 27%. And if you think they're going to break away, you can get an uppercut, no problem. Now I have the CPU set to break away as fast as possible. Just do a little dash forward, you get 21% unbreakable, 24 if they don't break away. And if you're scared they're going to break away later in the combo, just do something like this. Just dash up, jab, blah, you get 25%, and you're not going to leave yourself punishable by doing a long-ass animation. And yeah. And for those of you that use my variation, that's one of my favorite combos to do. A little bit less damage, I think, than the other one, but it is saucy to throw this in. And now we're going to move on to the 2-bar combos. And I hear you saying now, Cade, what are you talking about? How do you extend the combo? I'll show you. So you can do something like that. That wasn't technically optimal. And kind of the trick with this is after the rain kick, to get the second rain kick, you kind of let him fall on your active frames of the standing 3. Like, you don't try and hit him with your standing 3, you try and make him hit your standing 3. So that's pretty much your optimal, almost 36%, but I find that one's a little bit more difficult to link together with this whole, you know, a lot of the time your sorcery rush at the end will drop, or at least that's what I find, you know, if you're under pressure. So I tend to go for my ender here. I just find that a lot more consistent, but it does get you a little bit more damage to try and throw in that string into the sorcery rush. And of course, you do get side switches with this move, and you can choose at will what side you want them on. It's a good way to get them back into the corner. And then even if you have them in the corner, I'll show you the optimal corner combo right now. This string, I just want to mention that, will whiff mid-screen. It'll push them too far, but in the corner, it's your optimal starter. So there you go, you get about 41%, almost 42, give or take, you know, how many standing ones you want to throw in there. So he can get some pretty darn good damage in the corner. There are really only 2 crushing blows you have to worry about comboing off of with Shang Tsung. And there's not really room to get a rain kick in that combo. So I think if you want to spend the bar, you know, with my variation, you can just do this. This combo, there's not really a good place for the rain kick because you can get that uppercut right away and still convert off of it. So I don't think you need to worry about the rain kick in this combo. But if we go to something standard, like his down 2 crushing blow, you can get something like that or go for the other ender. So yeah, that one's pretty standard to combo off of. Alright, now going into Fatal Blow. It's actually pretty easy to combo into Fatal Blow, even though my Fatal Blow is so slow as Shang. It's pretty easy to get it off of rain kick. And we'll skip that, but that does about 45% there. And you can actually get double rain kick into Fatal Blow. It does about 50 more damage, so if you are really trying to squeeze out damage, it does 50 more. And as you can see there, I did this stand 2. That's a little bit easier to combo into the Fatal Blow off of. So when I'm scaling a combo that much, and it did about 50%, which was about 50 more damage than without the second bar spin. So one last thing I want to talk about is the crushing blow. You're not really going to hit it in the match, and you don't even combo off of it unless you spend the meter. So like it doesn't give you too much reward even for going for it. So you don't really need to worry about it mid-match. It's not going to get you much reward, and it's kind of a lot of risk trying to hit them with a raw rain kick like this. But one thing it is good for is taunting your opponent after the match. When you're able to fatality them, they're just sitting there. It is viable to do this. That does grant the crushing blow. So just a good thing to throw in there. I'll throw a little clip of that in. Alright, so thanks for watching. I'm going to be posting a lot more Shang videos because I think I may be going to EVO, and I've pretty much narrowed it down to Shang being the character I'm going to play there. Shang, Deborah, Jade, Spawn pretty much are my only options, and I think I'm going to go with Shang.